These were in many ways an extraordinary story, touching on so many things, but two concurrent themes here. One is that he is not going to step aside. It was up to the branches. And secondly, on a number of occasions, preaching the importance of unity within the party.
Yeah, absolutely, Jeremy. The process is between Ace Magashule handing himself over to the Hawks offices here in Bloemfontein and him appearing in court and being granted 200,000 rand bail, lasting nothing more than, between the two of them, nothing more than 2.5 hours. But the entirety of the day has been a political carnival that was to Ace Magashule's content, really, because it has lasted the whole day, that his supporters have been gathering in the distant background just down this road. That's where that address was taking place. And you are absolutely right. It is an extraordinary address by Ace Magashule. I mean, he has said many things before that have proven to be talking points, a cause for debate, controversial, but today he really went to lengths that I doubt he has gone to before. The message, extraordinary message that says the ANC has been infiltrated by people who are basically opponents of radical economic transformation. Him saying that he will not step aside, he will not leave the ANC, or what it would take would be for branches of the ANC calling on him to step aside. Only then would he step aside. So a special conference of branches saying step aside, then he would do that. But he was not the only one, Jeremy. I mean, the speeches by Tony Ngeni, for example, the speech by Tony Ngeni was also extraordinary in its own ways, in basically saying that continuing along that theme of saying that Ace Magashule is being targeted and the selective application of justice in this particular case. Tony Ngeni is saying some of the people who have infiltrated the ANC now are people who previously worked with the apartheid regime, and so really drawing a clear line that these fissures in the ANC are as deep as they've ever been.
Tell us, how will this go down amongst the broader church within the ANC? Obviously, in Bloemfontein, preaching to the converted, preaching to his supporters, but beyond that, in other regions.
So there's a lot that is going to be debated, I suspect, at the very least debated, and at most taken forward by the various structures of the ANC. Take, for example, Jeremy, the example of the statement where Ace Magashule says, do not allow anyone to disband your branches, talking to his supporters here, and saying that if they disband your branches, continue. What does that mean? What does that practically mean in instances where we know the ANC from time to time takes a decision that this branch, this region, this province has become so dysfunctional it has to be disbanded and replaced by an interim structure? What is the instruction? Does the instruction apply to those who belong to just those branches that are represented here, or is it a wider instruction to say all the branches of the ANC do not allow yourself to be disbanded? There's that aspect. There's the aspect of the ANC being unhappy about the burning of T-shirts that bear the face of President Cyril Ramaphosa, and also some of the statements that have really been directed at the leadership of President Cyril Ramaphosa. We saw a statement from Jesse Duarte earlier on, the Deputy Secretary General, basically condemning what he said has been wanton ill discipline by some of the people who have gathered here to support Ace Magashule, despite the fact that he had called on them to continue to exercise discipline even as they come to support him. There are all those aspects. I asked Pulemabe earlier on, what does it mean now that Ace Magashule has been formally charged? We've moved from his suspected to he's actually an accused person with 21 charges in as far as the statement from the NPA is concerned. What does that mean for the ANC going forward? And of course, Pulema, we're not able to give a straight answer there, sort of kicking it to touch that the ANC will not be rushed into making any decisions about its leadership. It will make its decisions and let us know later on.
Tell us, just stand by, because I want to get your thoughts on this in just a moment, but I want to roll the tape on this one. First of all, Ace Magashule also accusing the media of running a smear campaign against his party. This is what he had to say.
I can tell you, when I was premier with my collective, not as Magashule, on behalf of the ANC, we took out 1,432 students international. The media here, this media here, will never report about that. This media here will never give me a platform the whole day like they did yesterday. This media here I can tell you that when we were there with the collective, 302 students went to Cuba to study medicine. I know those students by heart. I know there is no township or farm in the Free State which does not have a student in Cuba. There is no town. The media will think I'm lying. I will give them the names of these students.
And Thulasizwe Simelane, aside from that, also having a go, as I mentioned earlier, against the journalist Peter Louis Myburgh about his book Gangster State, essentially saying that it wasn't written by him. He was told to put things on paper.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's par for the course, Jeremy, I would say, in terms of the grievance that people such as Ace Magashule have against the media in South Africa, against journalists. But here's my suspicion, though, Jeremy, more than it is this being about the media. I suspect that this is him trying to sort of give explanations for part of the root cause of the charges, where these charges stem from. So as that particular clip was playing, I had to whip out my phone so that I can go and take you exactly where I think what exactly he's responding to. So, I mean, the statement from the NPA coming shortly after his court appearance, it basically outlines the background to the issue of the asbestos tender and how it was awarded to companies such as Diamond Hill Trading, etc., etc. The important bit that I think he was addressing here, Jeremy, is one paragraph starts by saying, it is alleged that various payments were made by the Free State Department of Human Settlements to Diamond Hill Trading 71, Blackhead joint venture. And then that's followed by, it is alleged that in August 2015, Magashule corruptly accepted gratification of 53,550 paid on his request towards the tuition fees of the daughter of a then acting judge from Mpambani. So that money paid from Mpambani. And there's a number of those accusations of similar payments. And I suspect that's partly why the issue of taking many students to study abroad had to come up, because you'll know that part of the people who are going to testify on behalf of the state will be his former personal assistant, who had testified at the State Capture Commission of Inquiry that some of these payments were made on the request of Magashule so that they could pay tuition fees for students. Well, she's now a state witness. Has her tune changed, for example, with the result that Magashule feels that he needs to explain some of these monies that flowed, which the NPA says were corrupt, which he insists were to support students?
All right, Thulasizwe Simelane for the moment, live in Bloemfontein. Stay with it. We'll be back with you a little bit later on. I've got that statement that Thulasizwe was referring to.